I'm very pleased that Mr Brenni has finally come on board and taken heed of my warnings about the seriousness of this issue. So today, being the 2nd of July, is the day that the sole remaining professional indemnity insurer was going to pull out of the market. Now, Mr Brenni has been dragged kicking and screaming to finally make this announcement. Whilst I welcome it, it was certainly very, very late in the day. Mr Brenni has been made aware of this particular issue with the professional indemnity insurance running out for private certifiers throughout Queensland. He's been aware of that issue for over 12 months. And on the day that it expires, he's finally made this decision, and that is to allow exclusions, as I've been extolling him to do for a number of weeks now.
And so you do see it as a vindication of your campaign?
Well, look, I do. This has been an issue that I've been working hard for. I've been listening to private certifiers throughout Queensland. As a builder myself and someone who's been involved as a construction lawyer, I've had many private certifiers contact me about this issue. And it's quite frankly something that local media have only just been picking up recently. But it is very, very serious, because if it wasn't addressed, then it would mean progressively that the building industry would shut down. The building industry, it creates or adds about $45 billion to the state economy, employs tens of thousands of mums and dads, many of them obviously small businesses. So it's an issue which is very close to my heart, and it wasn't something that I was prepared to be silent on. And it's very important now that we have we've effectively plugged the hole. Minister Brenni has effectively plugged the hole, but he's plugged it with his finger. We now need to look at more of a lasting solution. Private certifiers are telling me that in the last 12 months, their professional indemnity insurance premiums have gone up or will go up by as much as 500%. Now, whilst Mr Brenni couldn't resolve that particular issue, by allowing exclusions for many private certifiers who don't deal in that combustible cladding space, this should result in premiums coming down. This should result in premiums coming down for those private certifiers who don't work in this space, because it's not the risk to the insurance companies that there once was. So I'm calling upon Mr Brenni to, as the Minister, the State Minister for Housing and Public Works, to scrutinise the premiums that are being paid or being asked to be paid by these private certifiers, by their professional indemnity insurers. It is totally unacceptable for small businesses to have their premiums go up by somewhere between 2 and as much as 500%. If you were in their shoes, I'm sure the vast majority of businesses couldn't operate on that basis. So whilst I congratulate Minister Brenni on finally making that decision today, his work is not done. We need to look at some more structural reforms ongoing to ensure that the private certification industry remains viable in Queensland.
Has the delay in Minister Brenni's action already caused damage to certification businesses?
Well, look, there's certainly, with the delay that's been experienced, I've had a number of certifiers been telling me that they may not be in a position to continue their practices. I know that the HIA put out a circular to all of its members recently, in fact just on Friday, encouraging their members, builders, to check with private certifiers when their insurance is due to renew. The implication was that if a private certifier's insurance falls due within the next period of, as long as the construction that they were going to be doing went beyond that insurance, then the implication was that the builders should look elsewhere, because the last thing a builder wants to do is have a private certifier that has to stop midstream and then bring in another certifier. So there are issues in relation to that. I don't think that's insurmountable, but certainly because Minister Brenni has sat on his hands for so long, and because there's been no structural reform in relation to certification for the 5 years since I was engaged to do my report, we've seen premiums very, very steadily increase and increase in significant ways. So, because there's been this delay, private certifiers are paying more for their professional indemnity insurance, and because private certifiers are paying more for their professional indemnity insurance, the builder pays more and ultimately the consumer pays more. So this delay is costing consumers more and more money, and that's not acceptable.